Lately, Brett and I have had a lot of time on our hands. There's a pretty good chance you do too, and there's a pretty good chance that time won't be going away anytime soon. So we want to help you spend that time wisely and let you know what we're doing to spend that time. This is our top 10 quarantine time sinks with me and Brett Ehrlich. Brett, you've got 5?
Yes, I do.
I have 5 as well. Together, we make 10. Why don't you start us off with your number 5?
Love it.
Oh, and
Okay.
really fast, are these ordered in any particular way?
Sure.
What?
Yes, they are.
What way?
From 5 to 1. And I went crazy. Okay, John, do you want me to out myself?
Yes.
They're for comedic effect.
Mm-hmm.
For entertainment value, I put them in a certain order, and I hate to break it to everyone, but that's how all lists go on the internet.
Okay.
Entertainment, whether it is to satiate some kind of like weird fanboy lust that you have for movie lists, they throw one in that's for like it's not actually the best, but it's to like serve fan. Do you want me to out the entire industry? I worked at Rotten Tomatoes for a while, damn it.
That's true. Okay, well, you're the expert, so that's why we're going to let you go first with your number 5.
All right, number 5 is just actionable intelligence. You can move on right now. HBO is streaming 500 hours of free programming. So a lot of people are like, hey, I have a lot of things on my watching to-do list, but a lot of them are on HBO, and I don't have the money to, especially in this climate, to fork over so that I can watch The Wire. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you got no excuses anymore because they are streaming 500 hours of free programming, including full seasons of, these are the full seasons, The Sopranos, Veep, Succession, 6 Feet Under, The Wire, Ballers, obviously.
You gotta watch that.
Barry. I've interviewed 2 people who are on Ballers as regulars, by the way.
Yeah? Well, Barry's great. Watch Barry.
Barry, Silicon Valley, and True Blood, as well as 20 Warner Brothers movies in HBO's current catalog, like Pikachu, Lego Movie 2, Crazy Stupid Love, which you can watch whenever. It is like the new The Great Outdoors. Like whenever it's on, I watch it.
That's true. Wait. So these are anyone can do this?
Free, for free right now.
Oh my god!
Go do it.
This should be your number 1.
Adnan Syed. This is just something you can start doing. Stop watching this show.
No, don't do that.
Sorry.
Every day.
I don't know.
Be here.
John,
live.
we have different motivations
We
here.
do.
For John's sake, keep watching the show. For my sake, let's hammer watch The Wire and then talk about it together later.
That is a great suggestion. I mean, any one of those shows could last you for quite a while. Watch Barry. It's great. I can't say anything about Ballers. It's the weirdest thing. I am a massive fan of The Rock. No interest in Ballers. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you were
Your video is having a weird effect, by the way. People are saying you look like William Wallace. Now you look a little bit like Gandalf.
Wow.
Do you see your video?
I'm gonna do this.
Okay, so we're gonna see if we can fix that. This is the. Oh my god. Are you
Gandalf.
Maeve?
Whoever said Gandalf was right.
Yeah. Okay. That was amazing. You had power, like you're Neo. Anyway. Okay. So that was a great suggestion.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah. We're gonna go to mine. Mine is going to be a little bit less helpful because his was like broad and expansive and everything and free. Mine is neither free and it's very specific, but I did want to give you ideas of what I'm watching that you might enjoy, that there's a lot to watch because the show has been off the air for literally years. It's topically appropriate, and that is, and if you're, hold on, are you seeing this? You seeing that?
See your finger.
House. Yes. So
you have to know what's in John's house to know that says house.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing for the members, I'm going to be doing a behind the scenes of what you can't see in this backdrop. But anyway, look, House has 8 seasons, I think. It is about medical mysteries and dealing with medicine. It's about the side effects of medicine so that we'll take it seriously, which is important when you're hearing about hydroxychloroquine all the time. It's funny. I love it. I know that there's people who absolutely hate the show, and it's like the only procedural show that I've ever watched. But it's great. It's available right now on Amazon Prime. I think it's worth a watch.
And what you should do, since Veep is streaming, you should watch Veep and House and pretend that Hugh Laurie plays the same character in both. And he's in the Witness Protection Program.
Wait, Hugh Laurie's on Veep?
Yeah. He's great. He's fantastic. His roots were as in comedy.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah, and
Avenue
5. There you go.
Avenue
watch that
5.
Too.
I'm halfway through that. But yeah, I love it, John. I
Thank
love
you.
that you want to watch House. Though I did watch it with two doctors once, and like in the first scene, they just go brainworm, and then like 18 minutes later, Hugh Laurie's like, I think it might be a brainworm,
But we have
and
to
then
inject him with dog urine to find out.
it
That's
was a
how basically how
brainworm.
it works. Okay, what's your number 4?
Teach your mom Zoom. There's two reasons why this is helpful. One, it will take forever.
Yeah.
So that's a time suck, and then you get to talk to like parents and if you don't want to use Zoom for the very obvious, John is. I just don't want to out John right now.
Shut
He is
up.
fiercely googling in the other window.
Shut
You
up.
Lori Veep.
I wanted to. No, I'm leaving a note for myself so that I'll go back to it later. That's what I do. Stop. Get off my screen.
Why? I just snarked on your neck. You Lori Veep. You Lori Veep.
I left a
Good
note.
for you. You won't regret it. But teaching your parents, if you don't like Zoom, then use Skype or FaceTime or something. I had just been calling my mom, but in this time, now we FaceTime. She has deer that are like, she lives in like this area where there's deer. You get to see deer if your mom lives there. But yeah, you get to like have video conversations and you get to still have that interaction. I've worked it into my daily routine. So after the show wraps, I then go FaceTime my mom right before she like bakes a potato.
Nice.
And then when the potato's ready, we go off to our regular lives. But that's a good thing.
That is nice.
Teleconference with not just your parents, your kids if you got kids, your friends if you still have friends. I don't know why you would.
Colleagues
but
if you miss them.
yeah.
Yeah, no, staying connected and helping someone out at the same time. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to find my window. I was rapidly closing things so that he wouldn't be able to see my screen. Okay, so my number 4, although as always happens with these lists, as he's doing his, I want to mentally change mine, but I won't. My number 4 is going to be, and this is something that a lot of you could do, hypothetically, is I want to get at least temporarily back into photography. My dogs, I haven't taken good high quality photos of them in some time, so I want to do that to document, this stage of their lives. It's something that as long as you stay away from people outside, you can still do. If you don't have a camera, you probably have a phone. If not, I apologize. It's not free. What's that?
Draw.
You could draw as well. But no, I think that, and this is one of 2 entries on my list that are creative outlets that have nothing to do with politics, the news, or my career. And I think that for me, for Brett, for a lot of us, we have to have things that don't have to do with the lockdown, basically. And so photography is something that like more people than ever do, sort of, but they don't necessarily think a lot about it. And it's more just sort of documenting your day rather than trying to do something creative. So I think that this is an opportunity for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a great one.
Thank you.
I'm getting... Oh, no. I was pulling up my next one. I will also add, though, that John is an amazing dog photographer. Like, I don't compliment many people on many things, and I know that it's a me problem, but John's dogtography,
Thank you.
photography, is just undeniably fantastic. Like, it looks like the dogs, like, are smizing. I don't know how he does it, but it is. Follow him on Instagram, you'll see.
Thank you.
I won't get to that one yet. Next is read articles on how...
That new webcam might be having some issues. There we go. You gotta take off the auto ISO or the auto exposure, I think.
I would love to know how to do that,
Okay,
but
well, we'll talk later. I'll teach it to you like your number 4. Okay, so what's your number 3?
Read articles on how to stay busy during a crisis. Just as I was trying to fill out my list, I had like one more swing spot. I wasn't like certain about one that was in there, and I was like, just this process of reading articles about what to do to fill time is so fun, because not only do you get to find actual helpful suggestions, but you get to mentally make fun of whoever wrote this article if their ideas are absolute crap.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, who has room to outdoor garden? Or earlier you might have said to yourself, what, my mom doesn't have deer. How do you have deer? Like, this guy's an idiot.
What's the deer one?
I said it earlier. You weren't listening.
Sorry.
You were Googling Hugh Laurie.
I missed it. I'm always Googling Hugh Laurie. Sorry.
There's always someone in the war room, and he's always Googling Hugh Laurie. But
There's always a Chrome tab on Google Images.
there's always. So that's that. I will say that just that experience is fun and it's great. So don't stop, won't stop.
But if you can outdoor garden, that's a good idea too. I'm not against that.
I mean, I saw that
Perhaps
in one
useful.
of the articles on how to keep busy during a crisis.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, my number 3, and now I'm feeling so bad about this because understand this is not a list of like the best things you could do. I could just put you should be reading more. Obviously, we should all be reading more. But this is a specific thing that I'm thinking about doing that might be fun for you too. So, if you don't want to do the 500 hours of HBO, how about 52-ish hours of the entire collected works of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And I say that because recently you might have seen that it went viral. There was someone who was sharing audience reactions from specific scenes of Endgame, and watching it, like I felt like I was back in the theater. And the thing about it was the power of some of those moments is driven by how much you've invested into it. And over, years and years. But you could also do it over the course of a few weeks. And sometimes the storylines can be complicated. It'll be easier to follow if you do it relatively quickly. It'll have more emotional impact. I understand they're not cinema. They're not the best movies ever. But they are pretty enjoyable. And so if you're looking for like a guilty pleasure that's fun and occasionally has good messages, not always, I think you could do worse than the MCU.
Yeah, and they are cinema. Come on.
Yes, it's not,
they couldn't call it the cinematic universe. It's not the Marvel non-cinematic universe. And I know that's a BS argument, but it was fun to make. Yes, and I did see some people sharing those moments. And I don't like my wife to see that I have emotions. So I was like, okay, she's not here. And I was like tearing up when Captain America does something. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, that's true. And I did too. By the way, Brett, how would you like to sign on for next week? Top 10 tearjerker moments in movies.
Oh, yeah, done. I have one from
I'm almost done already.
Movie that,
a trailer? Okay, no, we're doing that. Okay, I'm going to leave a note. Okay, so if I'm Googling, it's not about Hugh Laurie. It's about that. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the Bemis Radiant Heated Elongated Closed Front Toilet Seat in white.
What are you talking about?
This is a heated toilet seat. Everyone should get one because it allows you to spend hours, if not days, on the toilet perfectly happy. It has 3 adjustable settings. It has a light. You can keep it there.
No,
it has
okay.
3 adjustable settings, low, medium, and high, and also a light that you have that makes it so that when you are using the toilet, it lights up, John.
It needs to, because you need to see what's going on down there.
I didn't mean the direct address. I mean, it's a light up, John. So in the dark, I have something like this, and mine's far more expensive because I treat myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will sit there on the throne doing my paperwork for hours because just a heated toilet seat will make the time fly by.
It will.
And it's hard for people from countries where they do have bidets like this, like you get it, right? You just get it. Treat yourself, guys. This is $112. Home shipping by April 14th, 3 settings, a light. You can sit there and you can stream on the toilet.
I already am. This background is just paper. It's on my bathroom.
John said pee. Oh, I thought you meant stream like a pee.
What the audience should... First of all, yours is useful because toilet paper is still impossible to buy. Well, if it has a bidet, does it have a bidet?
You can sit for 2 cycles of digestion. So you like cut out one need for toilet paper.
That's true.
You would have had to go back
again. Yeah. Okay, so what people need to know about Brett is...
This is too much?
There are jet cockpits with less attachments and technology than Brett's toilet. It's got stuff bolted onto the side, stuff in front, like...
I've got a USB, like, extension cord, so I charge my phone. And it's faster than plugging it in. Yeah. It's faster than plugging it into my computer. Like, it charges quick. I'll get you one, John. I don't care.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully that's helpful for people. And, you should get some sort of commission on that for each sale. My number 2, this is something that you can do with the people you're quarantined with. My wife and I have been doing this, but you can also do it online to stay connected with your family and with your friends. A great time sink in the quarantine are all around me. They're not in focus. I don't know why I thought it would autofocus. It's not autofocus. Board games, of which there are, however many you think there are 10,000 times as many. And they're not like they were when you were kids. They're awesome thematic board games that are very cool and strategic. And if you think that that's weird and too nerdy, do you like poker? Poker's cool, right? Okay, well that's just paper and tokens on a table. So are these, buddy. And you can play them online. It's very easy. You can play them in person. They are still being delivered by any number of different sites. They're fun. They keep your brain active. They help you to connect. Some are incredibly social, sort of party experiences. Play some board games. You have tons of time. Just do it.
I agree with you. I've played board games with you and your lovely wife, and it has been quite fun.
Thank you.
For hours and hours. And then my brother and his friends, my brother's not that into board games. They opened up like a Zoom conference, and then they all got the same like Monopoly even app, which eliminates a lot of the issues with Monopoly, like digging through and calculating how much money you have and all that stuff. It expedites the game, which is if you are into the kind of board games that you had as a kid, that's a great way to play.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And real fast, I saw a comment asking if I have Cards Against Humanity. I did enjoy Cards Against Humanity back in the day. I'm pretty much moved on from that. But someone else asked about Pandemic. I do have a fully pimped out, blinged out copy of Pandemic with literally everything.
Like multiple versions of it, don't you?
It's everything they've ever released, and all the components. I've gotten cooler, upgraded components that I've put together into this awesome set. And anyway, yeah, it's weird to play Pandemic during a pandemic, but I do have it. And so, Brett, your number 1.
My number 1 isn't have a hobby or undertake a hobby. It's invent a hobby. A hobby that photography, so I didn't want to say it because I was too busy complimenting you. It's done. All the pictures that could be taken, everyone says this. A picture is true. Everyone's taken that picture before. That's not true, but I get it. Maybe you're like, I don't want to get into photography because it's so cliched. Not to offend you, John. I just complimented you. I remind you.
I'll be okay.
Dance party playlist curation. So each person comes up with their own playlist, and then you have a dance party. Or you playlist on your phone, pair to a speaker, here's my song. And the person's like, oh, I'll one-up you. But you have to dance, and you have to invent dances during it. Then
you've done this with your wife?
Oh, yeah. It is real fun. Learn a skill by watching YouTube videos. This is not just having that skill. It's you come up with the dumbest skill you can fathom and see if there's a YouTube tutorial about it, and then you learn it. I'm talking about like lanyard making, like random things like that. Start online gambling.
Thank you.
Start betting on stupid crap that isn't sports related. So you just like look out your window and you see you bet on what could drive by next, and you do little like gamble sessions with your significant other, your kids, or you open Zoom and like try to make some money off your friends. Because there are no sports, you have to gamble on something else. Gamble on like what sport is being replayed on ESPN right now. Bet on it. Figure out how to keep a network alive despite obvious nationwide technical obstacles. John and I have done that and spent hours and hours doing it.
That's true. It's fun.
If you have nothing else to do, please, maybe you just rewatch old episodes of Viral Video Film School, youtube.com/viral videos. And there's a new one up. So if you're wondering what I used to do and what it would look like if I did it again, I did do it again. Hopefully there's another one coming up. youtube.com/viral videos. We just went into Ivanka Trump's stupid Instagram and made fun of her like alone together apart or whatever it's called. So there you go.
I just opened it up because I haven't watched that one yet. And so I am looking forward to watching that. Good suggestions all. My final one is going to be one of the dumb hobbies that Brett was just ragging on. But
this
is more just something that I'm going to do, but I think that you could also enjoy it. It's something that obviously a lot of people have done it, as you'll see in a second, but a very small percentage of people ever do this, and I think that that percentage is too low. And that is to write a novel. Like, we have a lot of time. It takes almost no resources. You can do it with literal paper and pencil, let alone the computer or phone that you're watching this on right now. If you're on your iPad, you can do it with that. If you're seeing me, you have the capacity to do this. And everyone has any number of different stories in them based on their lives, let alone those that they can come up with based on their own experience. It's something that can fill up an endless amount of time. It doesn't have to be productive. It doesn't have to be related to anything serious. But I do think that it is a great exercise to better understand yourself in the world, is to try to write about it. I have written less than 1% of what I, at an earlier age, hoped I would have at this point. I finished one novel, sort of, and that is one of my deepest regrets. And so I do plan on restarting. And, maybe we can set up some sort of, like, little group or something like that around TDR online if other people want to engage in this, like the opposite of a book club. But anyway, that's just one of my ideas. I plan on doing that. And the reason I have it at number 1 is because it can fill up the most time, but also the barrier to entry on it is as low as almost any creative endeavor could possibly be.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.